piece of language, a phrase that is used in inference and reasoning, to something outside language, some living or dead or imaginary entity or concept or group of entities or concept that something is the referent, not necessary cycle or necessary real. And 7.1, reference and referent expression. A referent expression is used to identify, but the identification might be valid only temporarily or the real in the purpose filter, and it need not to be true. You might know who I mean when I refer to the stupid clone, but your ability to identify doesn't depend on your agreeing with my way of referring. We often use metonymy in referring, identifying some entity, especially a person, by some characteristic associated with the entity, as when we refer to someone as the horn-rimmed glasses, or when wages as a group of people seated at one table. Which of you is the tuna salad? Point 2, extension and intention. The extension of a lexeme is the set of entities which it donates, and the intention of any lexeme is the set of properties shared by all members of the extension. An extension has to do with reference, but reference, as we know, it's not all of meaning. Extension can change while extension remains the same. A prototype is an object or reference that is considered typical of the whole set.
Alright, the second material is some different kinds of reference. There are 3 kinds different of reference. The first one is concrete and abstract, the second one is unique and non-unique, and the last one is countable and uncountable. The first one is unique and non-unique. As you can see in the material, there are 2 sentences in there. The first one is we swam in a lake Ontario. The second one is we swam in a lake. So Lake Ontario and lake is the same word, but it's unique because Lake Ontario is a word that unique. And also the explanation under that, you can see both of the antral noun phrases are referring expression. So Lake Ontario and a lake is a referring expression, but Lake Ontario is a name, so it's like show the name of the lake. Next, concrete and abstract reference. So lexemes such as door, leaf, stone in a concrete object which can be seen or touched. So concrete is something that we can see or we can touch. For example, like our body, we can touch the table, we can touch the chair and others. But abstract reference is something that we cannot touch or we cannot see. For example, idea, love, freedom, and etc. Next, countable and non-countable. There are 4, sorry. The first one is concrete countable, for example, apples, coins. The second one is abstract countable, for example, idea, problem, solution. The third one is non-countable, furniture, homework, and the last one is abstract non-countable, such as advice, information, beauty. It's gonna be explained by me too. There are 3 kinds of differences in the referent are. The first one is generic and non-generic reference. The second one is specific and non-specific reference. And the third one is definite and indefinite reference. Next, there are specific and non-specific reference. There are 4 sentences in there. The first one is we have a dog. We'd like to have a dog. I'm sure there are answers to all your questions. And the last one is I trust you can find an answer to all your questions. Next. There are definite and indefinite reference. They are demonstrative, positive, quantitative demands identified as a referent in a fairly precise way. So frequently in a discourse, a topic introduced as an indefinite referring expression, and subsequent mention of the topic is met with one more definite referring expression. A definite noun phrase presupposes the existence of its referent, and an indefinite noun phrases presuppose the existence of more than its referent, the class of reference to which this one belongs.
Okay, the next slide. The most primitive way of the referring to something is to point to it or course this of reference can only be accomplished with people and referring which has its word which point to teach in the on a less primitive level, Apriani which has the key word which point to teach in the physical social context of the speaker and address, and whose referent can only be determined by knowing the context in which they are used. Some dictic word can also be used as the anaphoric item. Anaphor is a kit of secondary reference in which a previous reference is acknowledged by us of special vision word or extra-complement lexicon.
Udah. 3.
And next is shift in ways of referring. Here, the first referring expression is indefinite but specific in the next sentence. The co-referential expression is definite. If the first referring expression is indefinite and not specific, a following co-referential expression might be definite or indefinite.
That's all for explanation from our groups. Now we want to answer 4 questions that has asked by our friends in A4. So the first question is, what is anaphora? And it will be answered by Junia, Susi, Susanti.
Okay, the first question by Siding. What is anaphora? Anaphora is a kit of the secondary different is which a previous different is correct by us of special function word or equivalent lexicon.
Next question is, give the examples non-countable reference by Hendra. Non-countable reference, there are types. First, concrete non-countables like furniture or homework, and abstract non-countables like information and beauty. Okay, next question will answer by Bella.
Alright, the third question is about please give explanation about unique and non-unique reference and also the example. So this question is asked by siapa weh, lupa aku.
Cukup.
Oh ya.
Itu kan oke tuh. Dah apa memonya udah penuh tuh harus itu.
So the third question is give example and also explain about the unique and non-unique reference, and it was asked by Chaku. So the unique and non-unique reference, for example, is there are 2 sentences. The first one is we swam in a Lake Ontario, and the second one is we swam in a lake. So Lake Ontario is a unique reference and lake is non-unique reference. The other example is like Dead Sea, Red Sea in the Philippines. The referring expression has variable reference if its reference may be different every time it's used. That dog, my uncle, several people alike. The result is the result of the unique and non-unique reference. And the last question will be answered by Oktavia, Kristiani, Wiwit, and also she's gonna explain about the conclusion of our material.
So the last question is what the definition referring expression by Unity. So reversing expression is a piece of language, a non-phrase that is used in inference and linking to something outside language. That something is the referent, not necessarily cycle nor necessarily real. And finally, I will read conclusion. So conclusion, a referring expression is first of all a non-phrase that linking to something outside language. It's referent. We recognize different kinds of reference and different ways to referring. Reference might be concrete or abstract, unique or non-unique, countable or non-countable items. To some extent, these differences reflect distinctions in the phenomenal world, but linguistic reflection are no more natural than anything else in language. And a given referring expression might sometimes have one kind of reference and sometimes another kind. And that's all from our group, and thank you.